Finance Minister OFORI-ATTA has announced government's decision to increase the energy sector levy, which will subsequently increase fuel prices across the country. He further hinted on government's decision to scrap the controversial luxury vehicle tax. He made these revelations during the 2019 mid-year budget review on the floor of Parliament. On this background, I spoke to the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoah, to pick his view on the 2019 mid-year budget review. According to Duncan Amoah, any attempt to increase fuel prices will further deepen the economic woes of Ghanaians.
Government is now seeking to increase cost of living for every Ghanaian by increasing fuel taxes. The taxes that government is seeking to increase, some of them are taxes that we have, through research, requested for government to scrap completely or remove by now. That has not been done. Unfortunately, what is rather being done is increasing the rate of those taxes, and we think that it is quite unfortunate, it is insensitive. We will do anything we can together with organized labor unions, together with other organizations, to resist this, just as we resisted other programs or policies of government in the past. We believe strongly that at 23 Ghana cedis per gallon of what Ghanaians are paying for fuel currently, we are already paying too much. The same fuel that we import with Nigerians, with the same vessel from Europe coming to Africa, that discharges to Ghana goes to discharge in Nigeria. Nigeria is able to sell their fuel for around 12 cedis. And they are good. If we do even want to make taxes a part of our fuel price build, and we could have done 18 cedis, would have been good. We have done 23 Ghana cedis. We are still seeking to take more from the Ghanaian population. We do not think that this will help anybody in the country, particularly the trotro driver, the taxi driver, people who depend on fuel. Industries that would also need fuel to power both their vehicles and other engines are not going to be very comfortable. Energy installations or establishments across the world are so profitable. Yet when it comes to Ghana, our situation is almost a never-ending debt-ridden crisis situation.
The issue of corruption, Mr. Duncan Amoah further charged government to curb the illegal smuggling of oil.
Looking at the numbers that are being announced, a 20 pesewa increase in fuel price is a lot. We are only asking the finance minister to take a second look at this. We believe strongly that if he wants to rake in revenue, as has been cited, there are other legitimate sources of revenue that the government should be able to go in for. Unfortunately, we allow the revenues to leak into individual pockets, and then we come back to the people who are already squeezed to ask them to pay more. We have pointed out on 4 occasions, 4 different years, where Ghana government has lost revenues in excess of 1.6 billion consistently annually to fuel smuggling. So we let revenue of 1.6 billion go, and then we come back to say people should pay more taxes because we want to raise 700 million for the rest of 2019. We want to raise 1.4 billion for 2020.
Mr. Duncan Amoah further bemoaned the lack of broader consultations by government in taking decisions surrounding the energy sector.
Do not be surprised that this luxury levy, if consultations had gone on broadly, we would never have implemented that in the first place. Because you can simply tell the challenges from the car dealers' angle, tell the challenges from consumers or users' angle, tell the challenge even from revenue perspective. But a few people will sit in the room, put numbers together, and then splash everything in the face of the ordinary Ghanaian who has no idea what goes on in there. Whatever energy sector reform programs there has to be, if the political figureheads would want to get realistic results, right? Open those things up and factor all shades of concerns.
According to Duncan Amoah, COPEC will hit the streets if they fail to dialogue with the members of parliament concerning the issue of fuel increase.
If our representatives in parliament, our MPs, do not throw out or reject the proposition by the finance minister and go ahead to pass it, I'm certain that numbers will pour from across the country. Maybe to pick it at the finance ministry, to picket at the Jubilee House to ensure that they listen to our cries. Our pockets are already stretched as far as fuel prices are concerned in the country. We do not think that government taking the back door to increase it further by increasing taxes serves anybody's interest, not even the government's own interest.